Talk a little bit about, Bob Langer, his reputation precedes him, and, known as the Edison of medicine. I think you mentioned Thomas Edison was one of your like bigger influences. What were the learnings from Bob Langer about that shaped you in terms of how you approached entrepreneurship and problem solving, if you could share that?
Well, he's just a force of nature. And he's one of those people where until you meet him, sometimes you don't necessarily appreciate it. And I remember my first meeting with him, it was after I had this talk with Ram, and we were kind of saying, hey, what can we think about? And I went to Bob, I said, I want to work with you, I want to work with Ram, I'd like to work in your lab. And he asked me, what do you want to work on? And he had no preconceived notion of where I was going to come from. And I said, I want to do drug delivery across the blood-brain barrier. And he says, oh, interesting. And off the top of his head, rattles off three names that I should talk to and their phone numbers. And
That's great.
and I'm just like, I mean, people don't know phone numbers, much less three of them, right? And it wasn't his wife, it wasn't his kids, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I don't think I know any phone numbers that are not my wife's, and my kids don't have phones, so there's
Yep.
that. Um, but that I just that as much as that's silly, it left a mark. But then it was really interesting because we started talking about how to pursue something like that. And to this day, of course, getting drugs across the blood-brain barrier is something people think about. And I don't want to call it a solved problem. It's not unsolved, but it's not solved. And we started talking about, hey, do you do something there or do you do something elsewhere? And in my first meeting, Bob had said something to me that I has stuck with me to this day, which is to the effect of all problems are equally hard, so go after the big ones. And that's really just been a motivating force for me because when you're working in the unknown, when you don't know where you're going, pick things that can have big impact because again, why wouldn't you?